news coming down from Stuttering John.
Down the pike.
He was supposed to perform at this comedy club in early July. Mm-hmm. It was canceled, and John has announced that he's retiring from comedy.
What? No.
Come on.
And the way he starts off this episode...
What's comedy going to do?
Maybe all comedy is over now. I'm not sure. The way he starts off, I've never seen John more somber to start an episode of the Stuttering John podcast. Because he's always like, welcome with your world-famous host. He's all proud of himself.
And you got to see this strange paper shirt he's wearing.
Welcome, everybody.
Oh, my God. Look at that.
Welcome to the Stuttering John podcast. This is your favorite world-famous host, Stuttering John Melendez, on a somber morning for me. There's the link if you want to donate, paypal.me/John Melendez Inc.
Is he on a CNN set?
Yeah.
Look at that background.
Yeah.
Well, the background is not high def. That's been pointed out many
so?
times. He could get a better photo of downtown LA than that.
It looks like it's made out of Legos. It looks fucking fake as fuck.
All right, so John starts off his show saying that he doesn't care if you trash him. He doesn't care if you go on Reddit. And the Dabbler's anonymous. He calls out the subreddit by name, which
nice.
he does
Promotion.
care. Because recently he showed his email inbox by mistake on his show. And you can see in his inbox, he's emailing Reddit trying to get threads and whole subreddits taken down.
What an
He's
asshole.
DMCA striking all over the internet. So he's like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And then he's talking about Ryan Sharman. Now, Ryan's been on this show. He was a moderator for Stuttering John. And if you remember when I was teasing he'd come on the show, John was going, oh, crying Ryan's going to go on that loser show. And it's like, just say you're lying, Ryan.
Yeah.
Like it's built in. But
Yeah.
this is him talking about crying Ryan.
Then Ryan says to me, well, I guess I shouldn't be a moderator then. I go, okay, if that's how you want. All right. Amicable departure. Now he spends his life on trashing me. Every living moment on trashing me. And this guy has children.
Can you believe?
Names? I know where they go to school.
And if he's married, his wife's cheating on him.
I cannot believe somebody with kids thinks I'm a dickhead.
Right. It sounds amicable, though. I just want to point that out.
Guys, I want to ask you, because I have my own interpretation, and I say it all the time. So what does that mean? Why does he say, and he has children? Doug, what do you think that means?
I think it means that he is threatening to murder this man's children.
That's what I think, too.
I can take him.
I can take him. One hand tied behind my back. Oh, what, they're 12? All right. Well, maybe I'll use both my arms for that, then. What the fuck is wrong with them? What do you guys think? What does he mean?
What I think he means is that somebody that's raising children should be doing it morally, and to trash John is unethical.
Oh, so I get a pass.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
I never procreated, so I can just shit anyone I want?
But then again,
Cool.
my daughter's proud of the way that we trash him. So, I mean, you might be missing out on a whole
Most
life,
kids
Carl.
would think it's hilarious.
I don't know, Carl, you were right originally. Like, he is the supervillain. He's the reason why superheroes have secret identities. He's going after their families.
Yes.
He will kill people that you are close to hurt you.
Okay.
He's not wrong. So then after that, he goes on to talk about how Hockey Puck and them used to be close friends, and now Hockey Puck's trashing him. And he still thinks Hockey Puck's responsible for getting people booted from his show for switching it to kids mode. Remember that whole? I forget all about that.
It's funny.
He was complaining to YouTube for people getting kicked out of his room and everything like that. So he's still blaming Hockey Puck for that. He's just like, he's going through this whole thing. He's all upset. He's just like, everyone betrayed me.
yeah, right.
I don't have a friend in the world. He's going through all that kind of shit.
I'll record everything.
Yeah, I'll show them. So then he goes on because people are accusing him of creating sock accounts.
Okay.
Yeah. See, this is the trolls. This is what they do. They make up lies. I'm putting fake review. Okay. I'm not putting any fake reviews. As much as crying Ryan would like to believe so. his ridiculous theories because he's embedded in my life. He's entrenched with my life. They like to accuse me of having sock accounts called Dumbass and Dumbo and all this other bullshit that has no basis in reality.
No basis in reality. Okay, John, the problem is that there's all these like internet sleuths
Yes, you've been caught.
who are figuring this stuff out. And I have to show these reviews because this comedy club that John got canceled from, they're claiming, we'll get into this, he talks more about it in these, but they're claiming that they were getting calls from people saying that if they let John perform comedy there, they'll give him 1-star reviews on Yelp and on Google.
Okay.
And so the comedy club was just like, well, we can't take 1-star reviews. So they canceled John. So then John said, I want all my followers to give this comedy club 1-star reviews to teach them a lesson.
Sounds fair.
And because
ones and ones of stars.
well, because John doesn't actually have people who enjoy his programming, he decided to create his own sock accounts to do this.
I called it Richard Ojeda.
And this is some evidence here that I'm going to show you guys. So this is one on Yelp called Lance L. from Jericho, New York. And it says, Almeida Comedy Club. This is the place that we're talking about here. So this is just yesterday or the day before. I really wanted to have a great time, but the service sucked. The place reeked of dog shit and smoke. The food made me want to vomit.
Why are they letting dogs smoke there?
1-star review. And the reason why we know this is John, for not just this reason, but more to come, is that the only other review from this guy, Lance L., is for White Plains Comedy
Oh,
Club.
gums.
Which is, yes, where Frank works,
Yeah.
the boyfriend
Mr. Gums.
of Chrissy Mayer. And he wrote, 1 star, just awful. If I were you, I'd avoid this place like the plague.
So articulate.
Well, remember the
smells
avoid
like
this
dog
place
shit.
like the plague thing, all right? So let's look at more of what Lance L. has done. I apologize. It's not just those two. There's 2 other ones. There's this Hollywood Motor Corporation that he says he enjoyed.
5 stars.
Yeah, that's a 5-star. And then Schwartz Accounting.
Didn't smell like dog shit.
I don't care to use these guys after they promised to do my taxes, yet then balked and never returned my phone calls. And then at the end he says, you should avoid this place like the plague.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, avoid it like the plague.
That's a Lance L thing.
Also, how funny is that? These they promised to do my taxes and then balked. Was he trying to get free tax
Yeah.
service
He
from
wanted,
these
he
guys?
wanted something that they did not want to touch.
Yeah.
4 people involved.
But I want you to, okay, so remember what we're seeing here. So that's Lance L. Now let's move on.
They told him that if he makes under a certain amount, he doesn't have to file taxes.
Yeah, they're like, sir, there's no taxes to be paid here. The government owes you money. So that was Lance L. This is Mark J. Now, Mark J. is from Massapequa, New York, which is where Stuttering John is from. And in this review from this is March of this year, Malibu Wine Hikes, he says, I am Stuttering John for both the Howard Stern Show and Jay Leno. I took a date on this beautiful hike and strongly recommend it to anyone looking for a good time and some outdoor exercise as well. Kurt, the tour guide, was great. Okay. Next one is this rental car in Miami, Florida on February 28th, where John was in Miami at this time. I never usually write a review on here, but this time I will. I am an NYU graduate, have 2 degrees, but I've not experienced such incompetence and smugness in my life. They required a $500 deposit on only a credit card. They also required not only your insurance cards, but a complete list of all that is covered on your plan. This was not clear when I made a reservation, but the woman that helped me had such a condescending, smug attitude that I had to write, avoid this place like the plague. Yes, it's in a shady area at the outskirts of the airport. Don't bring your kids when you go there.
Right.
I have not experienced
bring your
such
prostitutes.
incompetence and
bring your kids to
smugness
Miami.
outside of my own podcast.
Yeah, I know. And then, once again, this is a different
Mark
person, Mark J. and Schwartz Accounting. They don't return texts or calls. Even after knowing them for 20 years, Michael and Clair are disingenuous brothers void of compassion.
Jeez.
So,
Jeez,
and that's from
I feel like
2018.
in 20 years, you would have figured that out before now.
Right.
So obviously, these are John's sock accounts. Now I got one more for you here. Is again Mark J. Alameda Comedy Club, worst comedy club ever. Food sucks, comedy sucked, bad atmosphere. So John has all of these different accounts that he's going on Yelp and putting on these reviews. It's provable at this point.
Yeah.
And this is amazing because Ryan Sharman actually pointed this one out to me. You guys are going to love this. So when I was on with Monique and we were doing the interview with Radio Gunk, there was a person who was commenting in real time named Dan Fogel. And when we were talking about how Ryan shared with Monique that John called her a cunt, a two-faced cunt, actually, because John goes, I never mean-mouthed her. I never said anything bad about her. And then she's like, well, I don't know. Ryan showed me a DM, a screenshot where you called me a cunt. So Dan Fogel says, you expected SJ to remember something from 3 years ago? LOL. Now, this is what's amazing. This Dan Fogel guy, because John showed his email inbox on a recent broadcast. And check this out. No. Security alert for Fogel122 at gmail.com. So there it is. John's setting up multiple email accounts and sock accounts. And he can't get out of his own way. It really is something else. Oh, by the way, here's the Reddit support regarding DMCA. We will review it and follow up with you. So
as soon as we're done laughing, we will review it and follow up.
From June 9th. So John is...
Do you think you first tried Dan Fogelberg, but it was taken?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Holy shit. All right. Where were we? I had to get through all of that. It's too funny. Jesus. So let's remember that this is the second gig that John's had canceled recently. It was the Mesquite Street show where the trolls threatened violence towards women. And that's why they had to cancel him.
I told my agent from Golden Artists Entertainment to warn Mesquite Street and Corpus Christi that my trolls would do their best.
Slow down.
His green hair is blowing in the wind.
Such diction, too.
My agent didn't warn them. I get a call from the club manager, and he says, John, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting all these
battered women
phone calls threatening violence towards women.
This looks like a screen test.
If I let you perform here.
Okay. So John's angry that his agent or his manager is supposed to tell them, by the way, you're going to get some really shitty phone calls. You just have to ignore them. Because that didn't happen, the shitty phone calls had this effect where he ended up getting canceled. And so what's great is that John thinks that they should be apologizing to him.
So I email the club manager and go, I can't believe that you're kowtowing to my haters.
Kowtowing.
Why would you do that? That's all I say. Just an email like that.
Appropriate response.
My agent from Golden Artist Entertainment then texts me.
Real company.
Stop emailing the club manager unless you're going to profusely apologize.
Profusely.
You can't make this up.
I don't know.
I'm the one who should apologize when he is the one who canceled me.
So there's obviously a lot more to that story.
Well, yeah.
That John is letting on. If his agent is telling him, dude, you better call back that comedy club and apologize to them.
Right. This whole thing that an agent is dealing with like multiple clients, and this one shithead is like, did you read my trolls clause? This guy's like, I don't have to deal with any of this with any of my other clients. You have fucking trolls that are fucking shitting on you constantly, and I mismanage that. Sorry.
It's in my rider. I need nothing but brown M&Ms, and if someone threatens women, you have to be like, that's cool.
And also, if you have any fabric softener, if you can look at this shirt, I'm wearing the before shirt, not the after shirt.
His collar's
top
always
corner of
down.
that shirt, it's nothing but wrinkles. Huh?
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
He's got the bacon collar.
Wow.
So John goes on to say he fired his agent and then called Dante, his manager. And Dante said to say something to the agent, he'd say something to the agent at Golden Artist Entertainment and get this figured out. By the way, Golden Artist Entertainment, he brought that up multiple times. I went to their roster. I didn't recognize a single fucking person that they represent. And then they have the section of people that they book gigs for. So they don't represent them, but they book them gigs. And one of the people on there was Mr. Belding. What was the guy from Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, Mr. Belding.
Yeah,
the
Mr.
principal, right?
The principal from Saved by the Bell.
Okay.
And he's like, that's a pretty big
Their
celebrity.
biggest client.
Good gut.
John's got this figured out because Dante, as we've already covered on the show, doesn't do contracts.
Because when I asked Dante if he does contracts, do we have a contract with a Mesquite Street? He goes, no, I just do word of mouth. I just have it on cell phone texting, you know. I go, really? Every other agent I've ever had does contracts, but okay.
He's always
okay.
screwing up phrases. Word of mouth. Does he mean like a verbal agreement, or does he mean like take their word? Word of mouth is like when people talk about you
band or
and you
something.
get marketing and
Yeah,
advertising.
I've heard that you're good from
Yeah, that's what
just
word of mouth is.
word on the street.
Right. That's not what this is. That's not even close to what this is.
Yeah, that's a response to, do you do any promotion?
Right.
No, I just rely on word of mouth. Right.
Yes. Instead, he goes, he doesn't do contracts. He just does word of mouth. It's so fucking stupid.
I don't do contracts. If they pay me in sandwiches, I accept that. That's fine.
His agent is just standing in front of comedy clubs going, wow, I heard Stuttering John was great last night. Somebody should
Everyone's
really
talking
book
about
that
it."
guy.
I heard he deserves X amount of money for this.
Oh my God, everyone's talking about the squeegee bit. It's amazing. There's so much going on.
I don't lie. I refuse to.
All right. Let's keep that one in mind because I have some more things coming up here.
I've been asked to lie a lot. I keep refusing.
I have to tell you, I have said a lot of things on Who Are These Podcasts, many things that I've totally forgotten. I don't think I've ever said I don't lie. It's never been a thought in my head that I need to declare. Just so you guys know, I'm actually trying to tell the truth right now. Like, isn't that kind of like taken for granted? Like, shouldn't you be not lying?
Right.
I don't know. It's just when you have to declare that you don't lie, it seems like maybe there's more to it than that. Could be wrong. So the club gave John $250 for a plane ticket. And then John bought a non-refundable ticket from cheaptickets.com.
That's great.
Yeah.
See, this is, I'm going to put it up. John, you're 100% lying. We found your fake review accounts where you trolled the club. Just admit what happened. Tickets weren't selling and they canceled. Review accounts where you.
So this is from Tire Hands Back. gave him $10 to tell him that, no, John, you are lying. We've seen your fake accounts giving a 1-star review, which I've already just shown
trolled
everyone.
the club. Just admit what happened. Tickets weren't selling and they canceled. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. See, this is the kind of nonsense. Let me block him.
Jeez, I don't know why you're so worried about that. They're not lying. Why do you have to block the person? Just have a conversation about it.
Did he take the money?
So he found the new agent, this guy Nick, over
Nick
at this
the
company.
agent.
Yeah, that he really likes.
Nick's a damn good guy. I love the guy, and he's going to have a good career as an agent because he's meticulous. He does contracts.
Mr.
He
Kerr.
doesn't do word of mouth.
Thank God it's the word of mouth.
He only does contracts, so I'm quitting comedy.
Well, that's where we're going with this. So what's great is that Dante, who John has been ragging on quite a bit, actually fired John and not the other way around.
No.
Dante writes me an email. It's been a pleasure to work with you, but unfortunately, I have to drop you because the Alameda Comedy Club got inundated with people saying that if they had me, they would give them a 1-star Yelp and Google review. Dante informed me that I'm a liability Now I'm paraphrasing. I'm not going to get his email exactly
Paraphrasing.
correct. So
I am
my apologies,
paraphrasing.
Dante, if I don't exactly get the wording correct. But he said, John, it's just we can't book you. Every time we book you, your trolls, they get you canceled. Now at that point I was cool with Dante. Okay, this is his business. But I was mad. Very mad.
At Dante.
Yeah. At this point, I'm even keeled and I'm pissed off.
Did I say happy?
I was cool with him, but I also wanted to break his legs.
Yeah. So let's hear about John and his temper real quick.
So you're letting go your number one client. At least that's what you told me. You told your client's the most
That's what
famous
you tell
client
every
had.
client.
So you let me go. But you don't call me. You email me. Granted, I was angry. And I sent him some angry text. Fuck off, I'm gonna trash on
You
our
would
show.
never do this to principal
I was
building.
mad.
Chapter 1. Fuck off.
And I'll admit I have a bad temper especially when I'm watching my whole stand-up career end.
Yeah.
Before it even got started.
Yeah.
So this guy Dante sends him an email, professional email, because you need to have a paper trail for things like this. Like, I can no longer represent you, John. John texts him back, fuck off!
Go fuck your dad.
He's such a pro. John is such a pro. He really knows how to handle things like this. And what I love is that John is always the victim.
Always.
No matter what happens, it's not his fault. He's the martyr in this case.
I am the victim here.
Jesus.
I didn't do anything.
That sums up John.
Yeah.
That sums up to a T. I am the victim here. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
We just saw he was fucking with the club.
Right.
That canceled him.
Yeah.
And listen, I actually have heard that what he's saying is true. That there were people who were calling the club to cancel him, which is, again,
That's a shame.
I do not condone.
No.
I hate when people fuck with people in real life. Observe and report. There's no reason to fuck with Stuttering John's life. He's fucking his own life up.
Yeah. Right.
Don't fuck with him.
Don't
didn't
fuck this up for
do
us.
anything like write funny jokes. I didn't do that. I didn't do anything.
As you said last week or Sunday, like, allow him to perform. It's amazing.
Yes, correct. And I don't understand this thing, because we're going to get into that in a little bit, where now they're blaming this on me and this is my fault that his comedy show got canceled. And guys, I would never tell you to get this guy's show canceled. I like to perform. I don't want to get canceled for any reason. Yeah. And also, every time he does something, it's content.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would we want him to stop doing
Wonderful.
stuff? I don't want to discourage this guy. I want him to embrace showbiz. I think he's still part of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you're the person that thinks that calling a comedy club and getting his livelihood squashed is helping the show, that's not helping.
Yeah,
the show.
and honestly, I don't think that these are WATP people who are doing that, because I've been saying this all along. You don't fuck with people in real life. As you guys know, I did a whole episode admitting defeat when thousands of people tried to get my job taken away from me and ruin my life. So I hate it.
Yeah,
I think
that's not what this is about.
No,
it's not
correct.
what the show is about.
We call it the job lynch mob. And it's not cool. It's not appropriate behavior in any way. So now that we've said that, let's get back to John.
That needs to be a disclaimer at the beginning of every fucking show, apparently.
I guess so, because you'll hear it in a little bit. They're accusing me of shit that's not true.
It came up in the last episode or whatever, where he's kind of like laying the groundwork of damages.
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of what this is.
They're working on a lawsuit against me.
Yeah.
That's what this
and
is.
he's like, oh, I can't even perform comedy
Yep.
now.
Oh, yeah. He brings up multiple times. I lost thousands of dollars because of these two shows.
did.
And Kevin from Why Do I Podcast is ragging on me.
It's because of Carl and not because I'm not funny.
Well, listen, if people are calling clubs and getting it and fucking with them, then that's, not cool.
Yeah. If you need to be told. Don't
Although,
do that.
I will say this, though, too, because this is what's so weird. I don't know if I said this on the podcast or not, but Dave Smith came to Rochester to perform at Comedy at the Carlson, and the Antifa was there to protest him for being anti-Semitic. Now, Dave Smith is Jewish, so they're ridiculous. And in fact, there were 3 comics on the bill, and all 3 were Jewish. And
self-hating.
Yeah, and they're all out there calling them Nazis and stuff. But there was 40 plus people out in front of the comedy club protesting. News media showed up, and the comedy club let the show happen. If you're a comedy club and someone calls and I don't like that comic that's coming in, you're going to cancel it?
That's why that doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make
what
sense.
He's saying it doesn't make
sense to
any
me.
fucking sense.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird precedent to set.
And also,
for one thing,
yeah, we're begging him to come to the Carlson.
Yeah.
If John wants a fucking book a gig, he's got one.
The comeback tour.
Yeah.
Coming back to comedy. All right.
Anyway.
So remember he was bragging about how he has this new manager or agent that deals with contracts?
Right.
Because he was so proud of himself. Even the last episode we did, he's like, now I do contracts, so you can't cancel me anymore.
They're written in crayon, but it's a contract.
This didn't work out.
Golden Arches
Alameda
Entertainment.
Comedy Club. Oh, this is the best part of it. I'm sorry. So, not only do they breach the contract and cancel me, not only do they not offer me the half of the money, which was in the agreement, in the contract that they signed,
$60.
they also have the audacity to ask my agent for the $250 back for the flight. Okay. I kid you not. I have it all on text.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I believe all of it.
Yeah, they're going to breach their contract. Yeah, it happens all the time, John. Sorry. You know, small claims court is not a big deal to people. They're like, what are you going to do? Sue me? I owe you what?
Yeah.
$2,000?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Neither is $250. It's not a big deal.
I love that. He bought a non-refundable ticket. He's out $250, and he's so pissed about it. It really is amazing. All right, so in this next clip, this is incredible. This clip right here is probably what sums up everything that's happened over the last few days. Because as you can see, people are saying, John, you have sock accounts. He's going, no, I don't. You guys are lying. I don't lie. And then he pretty much admits it right here.
This guy is now he's saying that I have sock accounts. It's just amazing. Even if I did, would you blame me? Let's say I had 2 or 3 sock accounts, and I wrote. Okay, I'm even getting ahead of
Let's
myself.
say it's 5 or 6.
Was that amazing? Let's say I have 2 or 3. Would you blame me?
Yeah.
And let's say I didn't
Let's
know
say
what the
I-
fuck I was doing with them.
And let's say I wrote. Well, let's not get into what I wrote, or would have written if I. Hold on. Let's pause.
I can't wait for his next book. The trolls were right all along. When he just admits every single thing, because he's pretty much just admitted that he does have sock accounts. Where he's just like, "That's outrageous." But would you blame me if I did? Like,
Turns out it was easy for you to say.
all right. So this is John once again playing the victim.
I'm not attacking her. I don't text her except
This is talking about Monique. Sorry,
yeah.
I should have set that up. So this is talking about the fact that he called Monique a cunt.
I'm not attacking her. I don't text her except saying I thought we were friends. But for those who don't know, she decided because Crying Ryan had a text from 3 years ago when Monique had trashed me, and I called her a two-faced C-word because she trashed me, and Ryan decided to send that to Monique, and that apparently was enough, even though we've been fine for 3 years since. That was enough to get her to trash me after doing my show so many times and me doing her show so many times and us having such splendid conversations. That hurt me. It did.
Oh, poor John. All he did was call this woman a cunt and then lie about it. And then when he got caught, blame Ryan for proving that he was lying about it. Oh, poor John.
What's with his air quotes around enough?
It's always in the wrong
sense.
place.
Yeah, apparently that was enough, is in quotes.
I know. How ridiculous is that? He's like, we were really good friends, and then I called her a two-faced cunt. Someone told her that, and all of a sudden she doesn't like me anymore. I don't know
She
what
had
I
a
did.
problem with that.
What did I do? Why is everyone blaming me here? He really is something else.
Yeah.
So then what's great is that John's talking to Dante about this whole idea that they want their $250 reimbursed. He's like, this is outrageous. We have a contract. He owes me money. And Dante, of course, sides with the comedy club.
He sided with the club, of course. Well, you shouldn't have posted that on Patreon, and you shouldn't have had your people start to write bad reviews. Well, look, man.
Your people.
Look. First of all, I never told them to write bad reviews. And second of all, even if I did, they cancel me because they're afraid of getting bad reviews. Why can't my fans do the same? Why not? How is that in any way not the same thing?
So John never takes the high road, obviously. He's like, well, they're up to dirty tricks, so I thought I should be up to dirty tricks. So what's the problem here? What don't you understand about this? The even if I did thing is fucking hilarious right there. So he went on and posted on Patreon to telling people, like, let's give this club 1-star reviews. They canceled my gig. And then he, like, took it down, obviously. Yeah. But I've seen screen captures of it. And so Dante's like, dude, you can't do that shit. You're trying to work in comedy. You're telling people to give a comedy club 1-star reviews. Like, what are you doing? He's just like, oh, what do you mean? They were trying to do that to me, so I did it to them.
Yeah. All I said was the club owner was a, quote, fat, dumb cunt, unquote.
So then,
I don't think Dante is going places as an agent. No. I have a feeling this guy's career's about to end.
Well, no, I don't know about that, Doug, because John even alludes to the fact that Dante might show up on other people's shows, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what? Yeah.
Maybe we should have Dante on the show.
That gives me an idea.
I wasn't even thinking that, but then when John brought it up, I was like, oh, yeah, we could book him. So then the question comes up, do you blame Carl from WATP? And he says yes, because he's instilling hate. Okay? So that's all the beginning of the show, the first 30 minutes, and then he brings on the Midas Touch brothers, and then he brings on our good friends Tony Michaels and Gabe Sanchez, and just some clips from that section of the show. And again, this is, my fault, and he knows how it's my fault too.
I'm suing the club, yeah. Because I have a sign.
Which first off, I'm glad he's got all these attorneys to sue everyone for him, but now he's going to sue the club over this.
Suing the club.
Yeah, this is
talk to the brain trust about it.
What? A one night appearance?
It was supposed to be a weekend. I think it was a Friday, Saturday. I know.
I haven't heard him refer to Michael Popok by name in quite a while.
Well, it's interesting because
he's still in the picture.
He mentions that he talked to his attorney, and I think it's someone other than Michael Popok.
Oh, okay. All right.
It actually might be one of those guys from the Midas Touch brothers. One of those guys is an attorney, so I don't know. And they're friends with Popok. So.
I'm suing the club, yeah. Because I have a signed contract with the club that if they canceled, I get half the money. But someone asked me before, Tony, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Do I hold Kevin from What Do I Podcast? Do I hold him accountable in some way? And the answer is yeah, because he started this whole hate on me, and he kept that going and kept that narrative going to where he has his fans. And I know this just from all the texts I get in the Instagram, all with his dumb show title. And they come after me. So do I hold him accountable? I do. What do you think, Tom?
All right, let's get their professional opinion.
I'm going to ask you a question, and the answer is yes.
I know, right? Leading the witness, Your Honor, objection. So what I love about that too is that John goes, I know that it's his fault because I've read the titles of his episodes that he puts out. He doesn't listen to what I have to say. He doesn't watch the show or listen to it. Yeah. He just saw the title and goes, obviously Carl's at fault here.
Yeah.
It's not good evidence.
This is going to be very confusing for a potential jury if he keeps calling you Kevin and talking about a different show that's not yours.
Carnival Electric ends up going to jail.
I am not trying to give John any advice, but I would be wildly confused if I was hearing any of these clips.
It's so confusing. I'm not even doing a good job presenting it because there's so much going on. It's all over the place. So John asked the question, and Tony thinks I am accountable because I haven't been saying don't harass him. Not true. These guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then let's listen to Gabe's legal expertise. He's a good attorney, too.
That is where you begin to do stuff. You begin to say stuff. You begin to take attacks against someone like yourself or anyone else. Those things become actual personal wounds that can be then.
Notice how Heidi Rose put up or commented, we'll give them a 1-star for canceling you And John put that up. This is John controlling that. He doesn't put most of the comments up there. He decided to put that up on the screen.
Yeah, it's not a super chat.
That's not a super chat, but he wanted everyone to see that Heidi's saying, hey, we should give the comedy club 1 star. So John's still up to no good, by the way. All right. Have you guys made any sense of what Gabe's talking about so far? He's not making any fucking
Personal
sense.
wounds.
Trace back to
Trying to talk about
to
damages,
financial
but he
incentives.
doesn't
Now,
know.
whether Kevin made the phone call or not, like you can argue that all day, and
Argue that all day. I'm not calling comedy club. What the fuck are you talking about? Whether Kevin made the phone call or not, you can argue that all day. Gabe, I don't go around calling comedy clubs trying to get people canceled. I run a very successful podcast over here. You fucking nuts.
Submit your phone records.
He has no idea what he's talking about. Again, this is what's so frustrating about watching these two asshats is that they talk about me and they have no idea what they're talking about. But it doesn't stop them in any single way. It fuels their fire to not know anything about me.
now whether Kevin made the phone call or not, like you can argue that all day, and I saw someone in the comments be like, well, you have to prove that Kevin made the call. Sure, that's one thing. However, if you're someone who has a show that is primarily dedicated, and if he wants to argue we only do some content about John,
Every show is about me.
right, regardless, if you have a show where your content is solely dedicated to attacking or roasting, as he said, whatever, and you think it's a joke, but your followers are unable to decipher the jokes
That's right.
from animosity, that's where a problem begins to happen. And I think that is where the real case is led, because Kevin is going to have to answer some questions about when you knew these things were happening, and John brought it up about a previous show or other gigs that he had that were canceled because of these trolls, and you did nothing to either say something, you did nothing to either close down the community, maybe suppress the amount of content you're doing that is actually criticizing John or goofing on John or whatever, then there is a bit of a responsibility there. You're allowing people to attack and you're not saying anything.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
Wrong.
proved over and over again.
Wrong.
What are you talking about? I've never said anything. I've said many things many times not to fuck with people. But these guys have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah. So they're building this whole case that's built on nothing and having this whole conversation. Like, do a little bit of research if you're going to do this. Mm-hmm. This is, by the way, this is borderline slander. What Gabe is saying right there is borderline slander, right?
Yeah.
I think building a case is very generous.
Yeah, well, I know. That's a pretty good point.
I don't think Gabe can prove that mustache is not just a dirty Sanchez. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just shit smeared on his lips.
And I like that he also says that I know that this gig got canceled and I didn't do anything to shut down a community. I don't control Dabblers Anonymous. I didn't set it up. I have nothing to do with it. I can't shut it down.
Yeah.
I love when people act like I have control over everyone on the internet. I have no control over these people and what they do.
So you're just following orders then, are you?
What do you want me to do?
All we've done is pointed out that Stuttering John is incompetent and it's hilarious to a hilarious degree. Yeah. And a lot of people agree with that.
And honestly, if I had to make an assessment, I would say we've had more people influenced by this show who go and support John. Maybe for the wrong reasons, but they support John financially.
I know I have.
I know you have.
Yeah.
People have bought cameos. People have done super chats. Mm-hmm. I have people in my family who subscribe to him. Yeah. Literally. I see when he puts out a Patreon. I have people in my family subscribe. So literally, these guys are explaining that I want to ruin his life. Going to shut down is just the opposite. Right. It's really just the opposite. But guess who else's fault it is? Shuli Egar.
Shuli said that he's going to be, after we talked about his fake Twitter followers, he said on one of his shows that he's going to be relentless towards me. So a friend of mine is speculating that Shuli had a lot to do with this.
Okay. A friend of mine thinks that Shuli called the club. Well, then let's sue him too. Why not? Is that?
I think he should. I think he should have to prove that he actually has friends before we listen to any of that.
Is that outrageous that he would say that?
Anybody that's listened to that knows that Shuli meant roast jokes. Like,
of course, yeah.
He's going to be viciously funny at your expense.
And by the way,
that's what that meant.
And he's already done it.
Right.
He's already got it. He's well underway.
He's off to a good start.
He's off to a really good start on it.
He's not going to key your car.
Right. He's not trying to send somebody to break your legs.
Right.
So Gabe continues on with this notion that silence is violence. Like, he's got this thing where it's like, if Carl's knows that your show's going to cancel, and he's not telling people to stop doing that, then he's guilty.
Like, he's like, I'm a comedian and I'm making jokes, and it's that subtle nuance of telling how I can roast someone or not, or whatever he might say, right? He's like, it's all a joke, right? It was just a joke. Calm down.
Yeah.
But not advising his followers to stop or to kind of understand what's going on, right? It becomes malicious. It is intentional. It is a traceable thing that comes back and says, did you try to do anything to stop it?
Yes.
Well, I told people it was a joke, but once it was brought up publicly and you acknowledged that John brought it up publicly, did you say anything? No?
Gabe, I've told people not to fuck with John. John, on the other hand, has said, come to Pickwick Pub anytime after 3 p.m. and fight me.
Yeah.
John has said that multiple times. Like, if anyone's asking for people to fuck with him in real life, it's John, not me.
If anything, this show has given him advice about make a better show. If you're funny, if your quality is better, if your research is better, people will stop making fun of you for how fucking incompetent you are. We're helping you.
We're trying.
And we're saying, don't harass this guy. And it's just like, what else do you need, John?
Yeah. Why do you think I do those deepfake videos? It's a PSA.
So you see this comment from Shorty One. It says, I saw that Carl dude said he doesn't want anyone to mess with his band's gigs, yet he encourages trolls to bother John. All right, so this is just like, whatever, a made-up thing that somebody
that's
posted.
fabricated.
And of course, they're going to read that and just assume that, Shorty One knows what they're talking about.
Look at that comment. Look at that comment below, though, guys. It says, "I saw Carl."
I saw that Carl dude said he doesn't want anyone to mess with his band's gig, yet he encourages trolls to bother John. See, here is where he can be held accountable. He has a Discord on Reddit off of his, Why Do I Podcast site that is dedicated to trashing me and trolling me. So there is where he can be accountable, because he's now has a whole site dedicated for all these haters to gather.
I have a Discord server that I didn't set up. It's not mine, but it is dedicated to the show.
It's not on Reddit.
And there's one channel dedicated to Stuttering John. One channel out of what? Over a dozen, right? There's probably like 24 channels in here.
Right.
And John says, well, he's making the case. There you go. And it's dedicated to trashing John and Reddit, which I also didn't set up. John, when you have a successful show, people set these things up for you. I know you have no idea what that's like.
Right.
But that's what happens. And I don't have control over what people say. All we do is point out you guys suck at podcasting and hygiene.
And research.
So I feel like John is so defeated now that he tried for a little bit to come back at us. And, we played it on the last show where he's like, oh, we're going to make fun of the Isotopes and this is going to be so funny. And, oh my gosh, they played Mario Brothers and this is going to be so fun. And the wind is out of his sails at this point, I'd have to say.
Do not try to cancel anyone's gigs.
Correct.
That's not what you should do. What you should do is to go laugh at their content, because the Isotope stuff is fucking totally laughable. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Well, I want to have
hilarious.
I was going to have you guys on to goof on it, but at this point, it's just like, it's like, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't, because this guy loves the attention. You know what I mean?
All right, so he's given up on that idea of making fun of the Isotopes. And what John's not understanding is that, yes, I do encourage him to do that because I have a sense of humor about myself.
Yeah.
Like, I can take a joke.
Respond in kind.
Right. I could take a joke. If they went on there and they didn't like the way I formatted my song structure, we could have a discussion about that. No, I put in the bridge after the first chorus. I thought it would change things up.
Can we have a discussion about that?
No, you get no say. You're the bass player.
Damn it.
But if John wants to say something. So John's so defeated now. He's just like, yeah, no, I thought it'd be funny to make fun of them, but it turns out that they're always funnier than us. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. The more we talk about them, they just review it, and then we're always the butt of the joke. So it's not working. I love it.
And if you guys were better friends.
I did not expect this to be the reason he gave up comedy. Like if you had asked me, I would have thought like late stage liver failure, something like that.
Yeah.
Not this.
Yeah,
Well, somebody was talking about this, and they're like, okay, we're into Act 3 of the Stuttering John story now.
Yeah.
Like, like how is this going to end? And it is one of those stories where you're like, it could go a couple different ways now. Will there be like a big comeback where like at the end he's like selling out Carnegie Hall and like have this huge triumphant return to comedy? What was that documentary from that Toronto metal
Anvil.
Anvil.
The story of Anvil.
The story of Anvil.
Yeah.
Amazing doc if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it. Like these guys were supposed to be as big as Anthrax and Metallica and all these bands they were coming up with. They never got big. And then at the end they play this festival in Japan and there's just thousands of kids going nuts for him. It's really cool. Like I hope that's how this ends for John.
Right.
Wouldn't that be neat? I don't think
that'd
that's
be
how it's
amazing.
going to end.
Right.
I don't think so.
Because
But that'd
part
be
of
cool.
this is John admitting that maybe he's the
Right.
problem.
Well,
Is it everyone's fault except mine, or maybe I'm doing something wrong, and he'll never do that.
No.
So now, Doug, I don't know if you would guess at what they're going to do next, because let's just say that Tony and Gabe and John are a certain type of person. And this
Okay.
type of person, when they are defeated and they're angry with someone, they call out that person and people who follow that person with a certain word that they think is the trump card that they can throw out, and then right then and there they win the argument every time. Could you guess what that might be, Doug?
No, I just thought they would have a bunch of double cheeses together. And that would be
I
the
know,
end
what
of it.
happened to
But
double
I-
cheese?
I
They
don't
doubled down
know.
together, though.
You're worse
They
than
doubled down
Hitler.
together.
You're worse than Hitler is what's coming.
yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, here's the thing too about Kevin's trolls and his troll army. All the tens of them, the tens of people that he has in his troll army, or
Hardy
the
fucking
tens of
heart.
accounts that he has in his troll army.
They go back and forth by saying that we have thousands, because
Yeah.
earlier in the show they're like, well, there's thousands of people who are all fucking with you, and then it's like, oh, but there's 10 people. Like they can't even like piece together their own story. They have no idea.
There is a Venn diagram of racist, misogynist, Trump humping dudes and Kevin's fans, and it's almost a fucking circle, because I've seen them coming on our YouTube channel and say something about drive-through videos, and then they'll say something about like really fucking racist,
Like
or really
what?
fucking
Yeah.
misogynistic
Like
or
what?
something.
What's an example?
And I don't know if they know who their audience is. I would guess they actually do know who their audience is, and they know they're stoking these trumped up motherfuckers to do this stuff and to cancel John's thing. But that's the other thing that goes. I would imagine a judge or a jury or someone would want to see intent, is if they know that's who their audience is. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't-
There
I
were a
don't
bunch
just
of leaks
saying
right
words.
there. Did you see that? He goes, all right, I have a feeling that Carl's audience is racist. And I know that because there was a guy who tweeted about my shitty drive-through video. And then he also tweeted something racist and misogynist. No examples, nothing.
No.
And then he goes, so that proves that they're all racist. And Carl knows that. And that's why he's going after you, John, because he wants to get all the racists going after you.
Right.
Like, this is an insane conversation, but this is what these people do.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to capture a racist audience by wearing a pseudo MAGA hat, whatever the fuck, something he had made up at,
That's his
Spencer's Gifts or whatever the fuck he's wearing.
You can have one of those hats too if you join his Patreon, Andy. You could
no
be his
way.
second patron.
yeah.
also, if you watch that again, he is hoping somebody jumps in and
Yes.
bails him out, because he's
Correct.
just meandering and finally just trails off and doesn't have any way of ending this.
Yeah, it's weird. I thought for sure John would start nodding profusely.
Right, yeah. But it's like,
Too
oh,
busy with
maybe
the chat.
Yeah, that's
right.
maybe that's unfounded in every way, but I don't know.
I'm surprised John didn't go, oh, because I'm Puerto Rican. That's right. It's because I'm Puerto Rican. That's why they're doing this.
John, you missed a victim angle.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
dude. Wow, and he has pulled that card before.
Oh, yeah.
So then John goes on to say, he goes, I don't even know why they're talking about this. I don't even mention him anmore, which they've been talking about us quite a bit. And it is kind of funny that he's like, I mean, if we do, we call him Kevin. Like, yeah, but we all know what you're doing. It doesn't change what you're talking about. So then Tony gives John a compliment after this and says, look, as long as I've known you, John, I know that you've never told your fans to fuck with Carl. Implying that I do just the opposite. No, he probably doesn't, but he has told his attorney to instead. And in fact, he tweeted out that he's talking to his attorney to get my Patreon taken down, which is my livelihood, which is what John's complaining about. Ruining someone's livelihood is what's at stake here. And John is actively trying to ruin my livelihood, and he's sitting there thinking he has the moral high ground here and going, "Oh yeah, I'm not a racist and a misogynist and all of these things like Carl and his sycophants." I have one more clip from these guys. I know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So this is John once again declaring that I have stolen his audiobook. This is the copyright claim that he is declaring.
Dude, I'll just tell you this. I own the copyright on my book.
Right.
Kevin puts my audiobook, the MP3 of my complete audiobook, on his Patreon for free.
Right.
Talk about taking money out of my pocket.
It's not true.
He gets his $5, $10 for, from his patron, and then they get my audiobook for free.
So I never did that.
No.
He keeps saying that. Somebody must have told him that, and he believes whatever he wants to believe. So
I'm going to say I joined Patreon just to hear the Stuttering John getting shit on stuff, and it's not there.
It's gone.
Yeah.
I had to take it down.
Take it down.
The idea that I would post his entire audiobook is nonsensical. It doesn't even make sense.
No.
And he keeps saying that, so he's just making up a lie.
Right.
Or he's ill-informed. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's ill-informed on this one. All right, so here is the big announcement, everybody. I am very happy to say that I have won my counterclaim with Patreon. I'm allowed to put the shows back That is correct. Later today or tomorrow, whenever I get around to it, I will be reposting all of the episodes that we had to take down. I've gotten the permission of Patreon to put them back up because there was no copyright infringement. John does not have a case. He might know it, but he's also pretty dumb, so he might not. And I want to announce that the next Patreon episode that we're doing is going to be right back to Stuttering John's audiobook. Easy for you to say. Let's get back on that train. I might even just post the entire book. Since he's already accused me of doing that, I might as well do that. This is why Vinny wanted to come over today for this announcement.
Yeah.
'Cause I read him the email thread on Monday after the creep off. He's like, holy shit, can I come over on Wednesday to talk about this? So this is very exciting, obviously. I don't think this is the end of this, but it's a very good step in the right direction. If people aren't on our Patreon, sign up. We'll be putting those 6 or 7 episodes back up.
I've been wanting to hear the next chapters.
Well, we're going to get on it for you, buddy. I have one more video that I want to play for you guys. It's another deepfake video. Because now that John has decided to cancel himself in his comedy career, I feel like we have to do it.
Did he actually say? Was there a clip of him saying that he's quitting comedy?
No, he texted it out. Actually, I'll read it to you. I'll read you.
He sent a messenger pigeon.
He texted it to you personally?
He loves texting.
He tweeted it.
Let's see. Okay. I don't know where this shows up. Somebody sent me a screen grab. It's not a tweet, so this might be a Patreon message or something else, but it says, I am being canceled. He says, well, it's true. My trolls have managed to threaten violence towards women to get my Mesquite Street gig canceled in Corpus Christi. Now they threaten the Alameda Comedy Club with giving them a 1-star review on both Yelp and Google, causing that club to cancel and getting me dropped by Golden Artist Entertainment, my manager and friend. My stand-up career is over. These people will stop at nothing. I understand that being a progressive comes with its costs, but I never knew that the hate would be so drastic that it would cause people to fuck with my livelihood. Stand-up is over for me now. I am deeply saddened. Thank you for your support.
This is so fucking amazing. People get canceled for being sexual predators and being racist. Stuttering John is the first guy that's been canceled for not being funny. That's why you're being canceled.
And also, I'm sorry to point this out, but he's making this decision.
Yeah.
He's not really being canceled.
Yeah, you're not canceled. You're walking away like Bruce Banner at the end of an Incredible Hulk episode.
There was nothing to cancel.
I'll point out one more thing. So when I did a show with Dick Masterson in Tampa, because he has so many haters, we couldn't announce where we were having the show ahead of time. And Maddox found out and called the police and tried to get the show canceled, saying that there's a bunch of white supremacists who were going to be at this show. And also, Anthony Cumia has a show down in Orlando. They can't announce the venue until the day of the show because people will try to fuck with him and get it canceled. But they're still able to do it. John, if you have a following, if you're building a following and you think this is all because of your liberal agenda, then just be so good at that you can tell people, hey, book your airfare, buy a ticket, come to Orlando, and we'll announce it the day of the show. You'll know where to go, and there'll be a show there. Like, this is happening.
Be a little savvy about it.
Be a little savvy. Not that I think that's the right way to go. It sucks that anyone has to do that. But it's not just Stuttering John that's dealing with fucking trolls.
You know he doesn't know how to do anything. He doesn't know how to fucking book a gig. He doesn't know how to write a joke. He doesn't know how to be savvy about, showing up in a city and emailing people about it.
Why are you giving him advice, Carl? He knows he's lying. Like, he knows this is all made up. He knows everything you're telling him. He knows he's unable to build an audience. This is all nonsense. This is all bullshit. And I hope he keeps doing his podcast.
You know what it is, Doug? The reason why I go through all this is because I'm looking forward to the day when Chris and I are watching this being played in court.
Yeah.
We're just laughing our ass up and high-fiving each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty good line. I missed that the first time.
I was hoping that part of the discovery process is us watching his stand-up.
Yeah. It's just going to be a bunch of TikToks, like Johnny Depp TikToks. Carl laughing at the testimony.
All right, guys, one more video here. This is, since John isn't doing stand-up, we've recreated it for him. This is what a stand-up show might look like with Stuttering John.
All right, keep it going, everybody. Chad Zubak, huh? California's funniest comedian right there. Florida's funniest comedian. Fuck you. Yeah, no, I knew that. All right, coming up is your headliner. I'm very excited to introduce to you. You know him from the Howard Stern Show. No, it's not Artie. You know him from Jay Leno, Tonight Show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for Stuttering John Melendez! All right! Get up here, John. John, come on. It's your turn now. All right. Yeah. That guy, he said, you guys fucking. Stuttering John Melendez, give it up, everybody!
Circus Midget putting together these videos for us does a fantastic job.
Thank you, Mr. Midget.
We do appreciate that. Wow.
Who are these podcasts?